Hi everyone, Queen Imogen reporting to you again about Australia's Code of Work Practices document. It's my very best Kermit the Frog impersonation. Yes, the beast has been temporarily tamed. Can't say I'm entirely impressed because I know the minute I wash it, it's going to be back. It's going to be back. The animal will be back. But today, looking at the Code of Work Practices, again, why this is important, we're looking for better tools to communicate, better understanding within the community of what the grey areas are, what the problems are within our community, and also giving ourselves a bit of backup if we do need to come forward with serious allegations of, say, sexual harassment or rape. Even addressing police attitudes towards us, then know that you've got a little bit of backup from your union, hopefully a lot of backup. But that depends on you guys joining. Seriously, you gotta join. Some people have to join, yeah, for this to be worthwhile doing. Today we're looking at discrimination. Discrimination. Another Kermit the Frog noise. Discrimination is really important with our art form because it has this amazing ability to just be open to everybody, and it gets to be that platform that people who might not have a lot of training in the arts or a lot of skills behind them can start having access to an audience, creating visibility. And so for a lot of people, this is a very political platform. That's why it's an empowerment platform, whether you're looking at body fascism or people being differently abled or people of colour or women or whatever. It's quite massive looking at discrimination. So I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. And I'm going to read to you what we've got here in terms of the draft. And I want you guys to... Don't write back to me if you're content with it and you think for now it's adequate. Let me know if you find it inadequate. Okay, so discrimination, here we come. Okay, discrimination is, and I'm reading this out so none of you have that lame excuse of like, I didn't know. Don't be lazy. Don't be lazy. Discrimination. Discrimination is treating or proposing to treat someone unfavourably because of a personal characteristic protected by the law, such as sex, age, race, or disability. Wait, there's more. Protected personal characteristics under federal discrimination law include a disability, disease, or injury, including work-related injury, parental status or status as a carer, race, colour, descent, national origin or ethnic background, age, gender, gender identity, sexual orientation, industrial activity, religion, pregnancy and breastfeeding, marital status, political opinion, social origin, medical record, an association with someone who has or is assumed to have one of these characteristics, such as being a parent of a child with a disability. It is also against the law to treat someone unfavourably because you assume they have a protected personal characteristic or may have it at some time in the future. Discrimination can be either direct or indirect. Page 10, direct discrimination. Direct discrimination is usually easy to identify and occurs when a person or group of people have a particular protected attribute, be that actual or assumed. They are treated less favourably because of that attribute. So we've got some examples here. Direct discrimination, an employer refusing to hire someone based on their age. One employee harasses another because of their race. Indirect discrimination is less obvious and occurs when a policy or practice appears neutral, yet has the effect of discriminating against those with a particular protected attribute. Example of indirect discrimination: a policy of only offering bonuses to full-time employees risks indirect discrimination on the basis of sex, as a greater proportion of part-time employees are female. In certain circumstances, it will not be unlawful to sorry, I'll start that again. Dyslexic stripper with glasses. It's just so good. In certain circumstances, it will not be unlawful discrimination to treat employees differently because of a protected personal characteristic. The main exceptions are where the discriminatory act or practice is necessary to comply with other legislation, is taken because the complainant cannot perform the inherent or essential requirements of their job, even where reasonable adjustments are made. Is 3, a genuine occupational requirement. An exemption may be required depending on the law in the relevant state or territory. That's why we need people in each state to join, because we've got a little bit of difference between all our different legislations, but not much. Sorry about the reflection there, dudes. Just bear with me. It's necessary to protect health and safety, and this is one that I think applies to us particularly, is permitted because an exemption or special measure applies. E.g., affirmative action recruitment programs only open to Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islanders. So if you get rid of that. Well, I would hope that's pretty clear and that we can apply it to stuff that's been going on in burlesque lately. Some of those things are not so clear and don't necessarily apply to us, and that's where we need to communicate, of course, with the union about, and well, you know, we're not in those situations very often. So that's discrimination. If you found that inadequate for any reason, can you please let me know and write to me? We're not necessarily at this point addressing what happens on our stages. That is a question for the union. We're talking about our working conditions, the basics that we expect when we turn up to work, just the same as you'd expect when you turn up to any job anywhere. I don't see that entertainers are in a special bubble because they're entertainers. I expect to be treated with the same respect and decency in a burlesque house as I do at any other job. So I'll be back next. We're looking at harassment, and I'll read you through the definitions that we've got there. Hopefully at the end of all this, we'll be able to create some way to find resolutions within our community when things go heinously wrong or when people are called out. And that's sort of my main aim, really, as well as creating just a basic understanding of what our rights are and what other people's rights are in our workspaces. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.